Welcome, everyone, to the Inspirational Businesswoman Show. Today, we have a wonderful guest, Mackensie Liberman, and she'll be discussing conversational AI, real connections, and automated results. We'll be getting started in just a moment. Welcome again, everyone. I'm so pleased that you're here for a very special treat. I know you're going to find this valuable, and I know your time is valuable, so I really appreciate you all being here today. I'm Virginia Parsons, your host, and it really is my passion to provide you, the viewer, with a gold mine of inspirational tips, strategies, and advice from what I call inspirational businesswomen in the know. And as I said, we have a very special guest today just for that. Now, before we get started, I'm going to be playing the preview trailer, and you could really help us up. While you're watching the preview trailer, if you can think of someone else who would benefit from this topic, go ahead and push the share button and spread it out to all those people you think might benefit. And I'll be introducing you to Mackensie in just a moment. All right, I think you can see that we're in for a real treat today with Mackensie. So I'm not going to delay it any longer. We're going to introduce you to her. This is all about conversational AI, you guys. This is such a hot topic, and how you can have real connections with automated results. This is so powerful. So here's what we're going to be talking about today. First of all, authentic automation, why you need it and how to keep it more you, correct? And then she's going to go about into the area of website widgets for automated connections. And we want anything we can do that's automated, don't we? But we want it to stay genuine and authentic as well. Finally, she's going to be discussing ManyChat magic. This is how you're going to get organic leads via message marketing. So let me give you a quick introduction, and we will bring her right on in. So before entering the world of digitally marketing in 2016, Mackensie was a clinically certified cytogeneticist for over a decade, analyzing chromosomes for abnormalities. She knew she could have a greater impact on the world outside of the laboratory, and she found her passion in chat marketing with its perfect mix of tech and science. Mackensie is one of the top experts in conversational marketing and has worked with a wide range of clients in various industries, from brick and mortar stores to multi-million dollar e-commerce businesses, Grammy-winning music artists, and celebrities. She has also been featured on the Perpetual Traffic podcast and spoken on numerous stages about bots, including at Digital Marketers War Room Mastermind, the Business of Bots Conference, and ManyChat's Conversations Conference. Now, in addition, she has helped thousands of others learn how to create chat marketing agencies and chatbots. So come on in, Mackensie, and say hi to our audience, won't you?
Hello, everybody. Hello. And thank you so much, Virginia, for having me on your podcast. This is really great. I'm glad I can help people understand a little bit more about conversational marketing and why they need it for their business.
I know. I think this is such an important topic, and I'm thrilled to have you on here with all of your experience and your past scientific experience as well, which was a little hard for me to pronounce. So that kind of leads me into what I always love to ask our guests first, and that is, what was a defining moment in your life that led you to be doing what you're doing today, which is so different than your scientific background? So please, let's bring everyone up to date on that.
Yes, that's usually the first question I get when I tell people my background was as a clinically certified cytogeneticist for over a decade, working in a medical lab. They're like, "How did you get into marketing?" Well, it's kind of funny. I thought that that was going to be my career. But then, of course, you work for someone else, you have to work when they need you to work. And so it ended up where I was working weekends and my husband was working weekdays. So we never really had a day off together, which was great for childcare when we had young kids, but we never got to go and do anything. Mom was always working on the weekends, so couldn't go and do fun stuff. So that was kind of a defining moment. I realized I didn't really want to be working in a medical lab with no windows for, the next 30 years. And I thought I could just do more. I'm a very tech savvy person. I kind of was the default IT person in the cytogenetics department. And so I started alongside my work as a cytogeneticist. I started my agency, mainly starting with Facebook ads in 2016. And then early 2017 is when um, messenger marketing automation came into play through ManyChat, and I jumped on that and I just rode that wave and it just clicked. It was just the perfect, like you mentioned, it's the perfect mix of tech and automations, and just really worked well for me. So I've been building my digital marketing agency with automations with ManyChat since 2017. It seems like it's been forever. People actually think I work for ManyChat. I don't. I'm just like a super user. But then as the years go on, they then brought in also Instagram, and so now there's Instagram automation as well. So I've just seen over the years though how much benefit it has provided businesses. And I know that there's just so many businesses out there and business owners who don't know what they're missing in terms of having chat automation for their business that is authentic. Of course, you think, the worst thing ever in the world, you're like, oh, I'm going to be speaking with a bot. But when it's authentic and authentically you, then it actually helps you a lot. And more importantly, helps your customers get what they're looking for.
Yeah, I think you are helping people understand how they can instill a personality, which would be your personality, into those bots. And I think that's going to be really interesting to talk
Yep.
about here today. Before we go into the topics itself, I would also love to know a little bit about why you named your business Orca Marketology. I'm sure people are interested in that as well.
Yes, that is usually the second question. So, um, for like my entire life growing up, I have loved orca whales. Like I wanted to study them in the wild. I live in Washington State. I'm not in Seattle. I'm on the other side of the state, but my goal was I wanted to be a marine biologist and study orcas. So I got my degree in biology. That's how I got into cytogenetics. But wanted to get into marine biology, but then going to graduate school, it was just at the time of the 2008 crash and where a lot of people were going back to school. So I didn't get in for grad school. So long story short, got into cytogenetics about that time. And then when I was like, well, I'm starting a business, what should I name it? And I'm like, well, what do I love? And so orcas is where it came into play. And then the word marketology, I love science, obviously. So I just put instead of Orca Marketing, because also Orca Marketing domain was way expensive at the time. I'm like, well, let me just put a little
Uh-huh.
spin on that. And I added ology at the end. So it's like the science of marketing.
I love it. Oh, and that is so very creative. And here's the thing I always talk to people about is what differentiates you. And you just did that right with naming your business. So, oh, I think that's just
Yeah.
juicy, juicy stuff. So, everyone who's watching today, I want to make sure that when you experience what I call maybe a pack your bag moment or a real gem of information from Mackenzie, go ahead and let us know in the comment area. Put pound gem and let us know what really sparked your feeling of, oh, that is the greatest tip. That's a pack my bag moment. I got so much out of this interview. So let's make sure we hear from you as well as Mackenzie is sharing her brilliance. All right. So what we're going to go into first is authentic automation, why you need it, and how to keep it more you, which is being authentic and genuine. So, Mackenzie, go ahead and take us down that particular topic.
Yeah, so really businesses, you know, speed of things just keep going faster and faster. I mean, it's crazy. It just seems like time is just speeding up. And I know a lot of business owners are working in their business. So sometimes it's hard to really wear all the hats and being able to do everything that you need to do. You might have some VAs or have some employees that help you out, but really there's always something that, is falling through the cracks. So one thing with automations, specifically chat automation, where it's forward facing to your potential customers, um, being able to have that to be an assistant for you to help you get people where they need to go, get them information, will help your business. But like I mentioned earlier, more importantly, it helps your customers too. People are usually searching online for something, and if they can't get their answer right away, they're going to something else. So being able to utilize automation, and that is sounding like you, and being able to reach them and speak to your ideal audience really does help reduce the dropped conversations and the missed leads, and missed potential sales that you could have from not having an automation. But um, it's interesting because we're all busy. Nobody really expects everybody to respond instantly, but people want the knowledge now, right? They want the answer now, but
Right.
they understand, at 2 o'clock in the morning the business is closed, and that's when they're thinking about it. So that way it's like the good mix. It's like a Venn diagram where it provides that capabilities. And then on top of that, it's not business owners shouldn't think that it's all or nothing. Like you have to have everything all automated and you can't do any, manual. But actually, it's best if you have the hybrid approach and you build that out so that way the automation helps to triage initially and then brings them in, and then you've got it set up where you can take over where it matters most. So that way, automation isn't necessarily dropping its own ball later on, but it's really good to have the perfect mix of automation along with triaging to be able to have you jump in when you need to.
Yeah, automation to me is one of those things that as an emerging entrepreneur is kind of an afterthought. I mean, emerging entrepreneurs particularly feel like they need to do everything and almost exhaust themselves in the process. And it seems to me that automating something, and we probably should talk a little about what these automations
Mhm.
are, these which is, one of our next topics. But automating in a way that at least makes that connection quickly for people. As you say, they're going to end up going someplace else. If they're looking for information and they can't find it in this day and age, it's there someplace and they can get it almost instantaneously. But what they're not getting is that personal connection that I think is becoming more and more important. And actually, even people are craving it. Don't you agree that people want to connect with a real person? So the automations are just sort of that quick first step so that you don't lose them in the shuffle of their being out there looking for information. You get that quick connection, and then you're giving them the opportunity through that connection to then personalize it, show your personality, and then actually be the real person on the other side. Isn't that really what you're getting at? It's kind of a lead in to that deeper connection with a real person.
Yeah, and 2 points to that. One is one suggestion, especially if you're not wanting people to have like the ick factor. Um, Come out and say it's your virtual assistant. Say, hey, I'm Jocelyn, Mackenzie's virtual assistant. I'm here to help you find what you need. But if need be, I can help, I can grab Mackenzie when needed, right? So it's kind of so people realize that, yeah, there is a person behind this, but this is somebody who's there to help. And then in terms of like what to automate, a lot of times people are like, well, Well, an obvious one would be, like we're talking about, or that we're going to talk about with the messenger marketing and DM conversation marketing. But just take a day in your business and write down things that you're doing over and over and over again, and things that you seem to do over and over again that seem monotonous that you could potentially automate would then free up more time for you to speak with more customers or clients. Even if it's, like ask when people ask questions all the time, customer service questions. I'm sure you can think of the top 5 questions that people ask over and over again. Think about how much time that that you spend having to answer those. So if you can have those automated through not just social media, but through website, through even email, then that can help get people their answers quicker for them to make a decision and then save you time as well.
Yeah, yeah, very, very important. And you guys, there's your first really, I'd say, good gem. Not that she hasn't said a few others already, but sit down, take a couple minutes to think through what is it that I keep doing over and over again? What are the questions I keep answering over and over again? And how can I automate them in a way that still brings people to want to connect with me personally? That would be the suggestion I would make around that. So great, Mackensie. Let's look at then the second topic here, and that is website widgets. I mean, there are so many different ways that we can automate, and your website should be one of them where you can automate and still build a personal connection. So let's talk about that and how you can automate those connections.
Yeah, this is where it gets really exciting because you can make your website widget custom to what you're providing for your services. It's actually really kind of interesting and funny in a way. With all the chatbot website chatbots I've created for different clients, how many people use the chatbot to get answers that they could have easily just found on the website with a couple clicks, but they just don't know where to look. They don't want to have to think about it. They just ask the chatbot. So it's like a virtual assistant for your potential customers there on the website. And you can have it set up where it will do either FAQs. You can have it, whatever the next step is, maybe if you're an e-com store where they can ask questions, they're not sure about what product to have, so they can ask the chatbot, and you can have that set up where it's like um, triage type of bot that can help direct them where they need to go. But it's really about greeting them, giving them information that they're looking for, routing them, giving them next steps, and really reducing friction for them to take that next step. And then if they need more information, or if the chatbot doesn't know, or they ask some really random question, that being able to then have the chatbot say, I'm not sure. If you'd like, you could, email customer support at this email, or give us a call at this number. So that way there is that handoff if need be. But website chatbots are getting more and more just more intelligent to where they can book appointments for you if you connect your calendar to it. They can reschedule appointments, they can take orders, they can do a lot of different things, and even send off text messages to somebody if they provided their phone number to buy. It's like, okay, I'm going to send you this text, you can go ahead and click to purchase. So there's a lot of different things that the website chat widget can do, and with people just having less time, they want to be efficient with their time. And so the chatbot really does help get people the information they're looking for. And if, like I said, if the chatbot doesn't quite know, then it can just be able to provide them next steps of how to contact, customer service.
Yeah, so how do you, and I know that this is something that you do for people, it is one of your services, but if someone just wanted to do something simple, put some kind of a simple website widget up, do you have any suggestions for them as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different website chat widget software out there that all it takes is just you copying and pasting some code onto your website, and then it will just live there. So you can have it where it's just super simple, where it's more of like a contact form, or you can have it connected to an AI type of bot where it will have a knowledge base of all the information that you provide it from your brain, or it can also scan your website and then be able to provide them information. So depending on how complex you want to have it, you can have it super simple where it just provides FAQs. And again, it's so interesting how many people will just click and integrate and interact with the chatbot versus clicking through the website to find the same information, but the chatbot still gets them to that next step. So yeah, my suggestion would be finding, you can Google and find some simple ones, or you can do more complex. High level is the one that I usually use just because it has that complex factor and can be really customized to whatever you need for your business. If it's an FAQ bot, if it's an appointment booking bot, um, there's a lot of different, or you can just have it be a like a contact form type of bot that will then send the information to you as the owner.
Great. So I'm just wondering this as well. If you're selling either a service or even a product online, are there bots that can be developed to get feedback or reviews that are automated through the site?
Yeah, so that for feedback and reviews, normally with the automation for that, my suggestion is having that set up after they're a customer, so that they're not just randomly coming to the website. Because if you get somebody who is, maybe a competitor and they're just wanting to go and give you a bad review for whatever. Sadly, that
Ah,
happens every now and then. But the nice thing is with automations on the back end post, I know we've been talking about lead generation, but of course, after the service, it's just as important or even more so to make sure that they had a good experience. And so being able to ask them how their experience was, and then asking them to provide a review, that can all be automated as well. Because of course, as a business owner, like I said, most people are so busy doing things that reviews and asking for reviews is kind of just an afterthought, or they think about it now and then. But actually having that automated, where you don't have to think about it really helps to increase how many people are actually leaving you reviews, which then helps your visibility on Google. So it's a win-win situation there just by implementing that little bit of automation.
yeah, I think that that would be really important because I think it's hard, first of all, for people to, if you were an individual and asking for feedback or a review, to do it, take the time unless you're already in a conversation with them, and then to ask them at the spur of the moment, what should I say or how should I do the feedback versus an automation which does it and you don't forget about doing it. You don't wait too long to do it. All those things that get in the way of, running a business. I think that would be a
Yep,
really important thing to set up as well. So, as you say, that's kind of more on the back end because someone's already interacted, had a service or a product that they can provide feedback on. But I think it's an important one to consider. Are
definitely.
there any other styles of widgets that you think people should include on their sites?
Well, another one, and this is probably the most advanced currently, is voice AI. And you can have it on your website, or you can have it connected to your phone number, your business phone number. It's interesting on the voice or the voice website widget, they would just click on it and start chatting with them like it's a phone number, like they've called
Mm.
the business. I think about myself, would I want to chat a voice? Maybe. I guess it depends on where I'm at and what I'm doing. Sometimes I'd rather just type it out. So, but if, again, as your business grows and your customers best, you can find out, figure out what would be best for them. Would people more like to chat with typing or chat with talking? But that would be another option that is now capability that can be placed on websites. But really, the big thing is just even having people who are interested, but maybe they're not even ready right now, where you could collect their information and then say, "Hey, I can send you more email or an email with more information, about this service or whatever, if you'd like, to think it over." So that way, it captures potential customers as well. So then you can add them to, email and SMS drip campaigns. And then that way you won't lose them as a customer and start to increase that knowledge of you as, an expert in your field.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And also, I can think of it from the standpoint, let's say that you're getting ready to offer a course or a program, but it hasn't opened yet. You could put people onto a waiting list to be
Exactly.
notified. And that's another way, again, to use these automations in a way that keeps you on top of things. If people are coming looking for something and it's coming soon on your website, why not be able to collect their information and continue to let them know updates on it? So I love that. Oh, so many
Exactly.
good, juicy ideas.
Yeah.
How many ideas have you just written down from what Mackenzie has just shared with us? Let us know. Give us your gems inside the comments. We want to hear from you. Okay, now we've got something else we want to talk about, and that is ManyChat, right? And something that you started, as you say, what? It must be almost 10 years ago now. And that was kind of the foundation of a lot of this other work that you've been doing. So share a little bit about that with us and why you think that that's also an important ingredient in automation and connections.
Yes. So you think about social media, specifically Meta, but also as an FYI, there is also DM automation, chat automation for TikTok now as well. And there's more coming, supposedly. YouTube's looking at it. So it's being able to connect with customers through DMs is just going to continue to grow. So I'm sure most businesses, they have a Facebook and an Instagram account that they have potential customers and current customers who follow them on the different social channels. So being able to reach them and provide them content in an automated way helps. So you're not spending hours sitting on your phone scrolling and responding to everybody who's asking for something that you're wanting to promote. So a couple big ways that DM automation really helps with social media is through organic and paid ads as well. So with organic, if you're on Instagram and you're sharing a reel or a post and you have some sort of lead magnet, or even it can be a paid thing, maybe you have a paid mini course or a paid guide, that you can promote that organically through your posts and then just tell them to reply with a certain word, and it will automatically send them a message with that information. So I've built out things like that for so many clients, even ones that want to share blog posts. So they've recently published a blog post that they want to send people to because they've monetized their blog. And so they want people going to their blog to have more visibility with ads. So that's another great thing as well. You can also do things like where if you have an ecom brand and you want to provide a limited time special with a coupon code, you can ask them to comment with a specific word that when they do that, it will send them a message and then collect their email. Because again, you're wanting to also collect emails of people who are following you, so you can reach them on multiple platforms, and then it can send them the coupon code and the link to go buy. And then here's a big thing that I don't know how anybody could do this manually. They could, but they would be in their DMs 24/7, especially with if you get a lot of people responding. But a big thing then too is to be able to have the follow up. So, and if you think about it, when you are on your phone, you get a message through Messenger or Instagram, you get that notification right on your phone. But emails, not so much, right? I mean, if you have your settings set where you get notified for every email, yes. But a lot of times, I mean, at least I know for me, emails, I go through like a couple times a day, and I'm just kind of looking at subject lines, and I'm just deleting ones that I'm like, okay, I don't have time to read this, or I'm not interested in this right now. So, I mean, email, I'm not totally dogging on email, because email is super important. You can make a ton of money with email marketing, but being able to have both DM automation to be able to get that notification to get people to read, and having them on email is super important too. But being able to have that follow up on DMs to find out, did they have any questions? Were they able to purchase? Were they able to, uh, you know, any other follow-up questions from reading, a blog article, like I mentioned, or you can then promote the next step in your funnel. So for example, like with a blog article where they're reading and in your funnel, the next step is for them to book a discovery call, a free call. Then you can have that follow-up message that will then say, hey, if you're interested in, XYZ, which is, what you provide for a service, you can give them a link to your calendar to then book a discovery call. So yeah, so that can be super helpful for businesses to grow. And there's other things with ManyChat too, where you can ask people to follow you if they're not already. Like ManyChat automation knows if they follow you. I have one client that actually gatekeeps things, and they don't provide the information unless they're following them. So that really helps increase their follower count. And then also a new thing is being able to message new followers. So when someone is newly follower to you on Instagram, that you can then send them a message and say, hey, thanks for the follow, would love to help you, like to know what your biggest concerns are, or how I could help, and then provide them resources. So that way it's providing value for these new followers and to really capture them. So yeah, so that's really the organic side. The paid side, you can do all the same things but have it just 10x because you have paid ads pushing it. So where the destination is DM, so a lot of different things I use. Same thing, coupon codes, quizzes are a huge one for both organic and paid, where then you can have them come through, take a quiz, find out, based off of their answers, what next step is best for them, whether that's, what product is best for them or service, and then being able to follow up with them all within DMs there as well. So really, there's a lot of power with messenger marketing and DM automation on Instagram through ManyChat that can, again, give customers what they're looking for, and or maybe they didn't even know what they were looking for, and you help provide that solution to them through your automations. And then you can still jump in at any point, whether that's at a specific point that you have set up in the automation, that when somebody gets to that point that you get notified, or if someone's asking questions outside of the automation, that you can just jump in and be able to reply to them. So then that way it helps to um, really segment and triage people, so that way you're spending time replying to people who are most engaged and who are most likely to become customers for your business.
Phew.
Yeah.
I mean, you just provided so much information there. I'm sure everyone else's head spinning a little bit, just like mine is like, because I don't think people who are not familiar with automation marketing and this kind of, as you say, ManyChat or direct message marketing, even have touched base with all the potential, all the possibilities
Yeah.
that are there for you. So you've just really skimmed the surface. I can see so many ways it's already being used that we may not be aware of as consumers, but it's going on in the background. And one of the things that you mentioned was quizzes. And so my question is, do these automation tools such as ManyChat actually set up the quizzes, or do you create a quiz that then when they answer it moves into the automation through something like ManyChat?
So you can do it a couple different ways. The way that I found that works best is building the quiz within ManyChat itself. So where you have, 6 to 8, maybe 10 questions. I wouldn't do too much because then people start falling off. But have those questions that are built into ManyChat, and then after they answer all the questions, it will at the end be able to provide them the result by looking at, if then conditions and things like that. So you can have
Yeah.
a simple one and you can also weight one certain answers more than others. The other big aha part with quizzes is then you can see after you get a lot of people going through them what answers are most chosen, and maybe there will be something that you just kind of maybe threw that answer in. You thought, oh, this might be something that might be of interest to people, and then you're like, whoa, I didn't realize so many people had this concern, or so many people were looking for this. That then that can help to provide you feedback to be like, maybe I need to do content just around this thing because I didn't realize this was such a big aspect of my potential customers. So you can have it pretty simple where then it will then sort based off of their answers. I have a couple bots that are bot quizzes that are a little bit more complex that I use AI. Actually, I send it out to N8N and I bring it back with the answer where AI will actually analyze the results, because I could do it in ManyChat, but it would take me forever to try to map out every potential scenario. Like it's so much easier than just to use AI on the back end to do the thinking and then send back the result right away. So yeah, you can have it super easy that just provides them the next steps, or you can have it more complex where you utilize AI alongside of it.
Yeah. Are you guys beginning to see the potential here and the possibilities? So let's retreat just a little bit and kind of summarize. There's just so much great information here. If someone were just getting started and saying, yes, it's time for me to put some automation into my business so that I can free my time up to do more of what my expertise is about and help more people in some way or service or product, where would you have them start?
So I would look at where are you doing most of the monotonous work that you are just over and over and over again. Is that with DMs? Do you get a lot of organic DMs? A lot of people responding where you feel like you're spending so much time in there responding to people. If that's the case, definitely utilize ManyChat. You can set up something super simple that can just respond to people. And you can even have it where it's responding to specific keywords even. So that way, that something, you're getting people asking the same thing over and over again, have that ManyChat automation that just does that. And then you can just build on that. You can build another one. You can then, maybe do another flow that collects your emails, right? So you can do baby steps with that. On the back end, because this is, the death by a thousand cuts. A lot of business owners have things that they don't even realize that they could automate. I'm actually, surprised there's a lot of business owners that they don't even have email marketing automation. So definitely
Yeah.
utilizing email marketing automation, review automation, like I mentioned too, because that helps, you find out from your customers how your service was, but also helps to grow your Google reviews on Google, which really helps with SEO and organic search. So those would be the main things. But again, really just looking to see, analyzing your day, taking a week and saying, okay, on Monday, I'm going to write down, it can take a while, but you can write down everything that you do, that you're like, okay, now, and then look back and say, okay, this week I did this a ton. I didn't realize how much I'm spending. How could I automate this? And then the next piece too is then when you have multiple pieces automating, being able to connect them together. That's where you think of like Voltron from the 80s, the like Transformers Voltron guy, where you piece them all together and it's this amazing automation machine that's like your assistant that's helping you. And it's not some, boring, bland robot. It's an assistant that's helping you, wanting to do things that you want it to do, and doing it how you set it up. So that's really where the bread and butter is with automations, that really helps to take things to the next level, where you realize, wow, I have all this free time now. I can now do this, where, something else where it's helping to, connect with your customers more, maybe do more content, that you can then post online, and then that will help to grow, and then they'll get more people into your automation. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be kind of where I would start, would be like looking at what you really do day in and day out that's monotonous, and figure out how you can automate that part.
Yes, yes. All right. So you guys have an assignment here. Mackenzie is recommending this, and I'm sure she does the same to all of her clients before she does the work for them. So, Mackenzie, you have a gift. Let me bring this up because I want you to share what it's all about. Now, first, before you start to talk about it, let me tell everyone where you can get Mackenzie's gift. It's very easy. All you need to do is go to shinetips.com/Mackenzie gift. And for those of you that can't see this, it's spelled Mackenzie is Mackensie gift. Mackenzie gift. Shinetips.com/Mackenzie gift. Go ahead, Mackenzie. Tell them all about what they're in store for with this special gift.
Yeah, so this will actually get you going with ManyChat. So, in this gift, I have three different templates for you. So, I know people have different businesses and different, end goals, whether that's appointment based, whether that's lead magnets. Even I've had actually a lot of clients who even they just want phone calls, or they want someone to opt in to be able to call them. So I have three different automations in there that are templates that you can just implement into your ManyChat account. If you don't have ManyChat yet, I also have a link there that you can get ManyChat, and it will actually give you the first month for free. So just because like I said, I've worked with ManyChat for so many years that they gave me a coupon thing where you automatically get a free month, first month. So then you can implement those lead magnets, edit them. I've got instructions throughout the template and notes to say, this is where you edit this is where you add this. So that way it will provide you the ability to get going right away, whether that's having a lead magnet that you want people to opt into, or scheduling an appointment. Maybe you have discovery calls and you would love to just set that up and just ask people to comment with a keyword, and we'll get people who want to schedule with you. And then you can also take these and build off of them too. So if you're wanting to do something a little bit different than a lead magnet, then maybe you can take that and then adjust it. So instead of a lead magnet, maybe you send them to a blog post, or some other aspect on your website that you'd like them to go to after they provide their email. So ManyChat is super versatile, and I totally get how it can be overwhelming when you're first starting. So these templates will really help you get going, to then get your feet wet utilizing DM automation, and then be able to build from there.
Wow, this is magnificent, you guys. She's basically helping you go and take the first steps with automation. She's giving you templates that you can just do the adjustments to and learn how to use automation, in this case, the ManyChat uh, widget for automating and connecting with more people on a regular basis. This has been great. Again, shinetips.com/ Mackenzie gift is how you go about getting that. Mackenzie, I want to thank you so much for sharing just a plethora of information on all the different ways you can automate and still maintain your personality, and be of service to people. Do you have any last final words you want to share with people about if they took nothing else home today, take this a little piece of wisdom home? What would you like to share?
Yeah, really utilize automation, not just for you, but for your customers and start small. I know it's easy to be overwhelmed, so just do bit by bit and you'll realize you'll get bit by the bug of automation and realize how much it helps. And then you can just build on from there. But I'm telling you right now, if you're automating nothing in your business, choose one thing that you're thinking about right now that I'm sure is in your mind. You're like, oh yeah, I'm doing that over and over again. And just figure out how to automate that. Even if you have to go to Google and be like, how do I automate as a business owner? How do I automate this? Whatever the task is, and then just go down that rabbit hole and at least implement one thing to automate to save you time.
Yeah, implement one thing to save you time and also be
Mhm.
of greater service to your potential customers. That's the other
Yeah.
side of that coin. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. And everyone, go ahead, take advantage of her gift. Go to shinetips.com/ Mackenzie gift. I'll show it to you one more time. And take advantage of this because this is giving you the steps that you need. And I want to thank you all for taking the time to be here. I know your time is valuable. I think you found that this information is valuable as well. So you all go out and make it a great week. And I'll see you all on the next Inspirational Businesswoman show. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching today. Do you know someone who would be a great guest for our show? Or would you like to be a guest on the Inspirational Businesswoman show? Let's shine the spotlight on your expertise. We'll share your story while offering tips, strategies, and advice to our viewers. Expert interviews are a great way to build your reputation as the go-to expert. Go to shinetips.com/IBWS to apply today. Women are waiting for your message, and I can't wait